this week we're going to be doing a fun project with some printable fabric, and I'm going to be using the Pabric brand, and you can check them out on the web at pabric.com. They have a variety of the printable fabrics, and you can see that they do all different kinds that will be good for different projects. So the one I'm going to use today is actually sticker backed, and I like this one for this project because it made it just an easy project to do, but yet really cool looking in the end. So, and the reason why I went with the Pabric for this, and there will be a whole comparison that I'll be doing on another episode that you can check out, and on the website at thingscrafty.com. I'm using it because it prints really vibrant colors. And as you can see from this design here, the colors are quite vibrant, and that's what I wanted, because I wanted this to be, even though it's for Halloween, I wanted it to be festive. So I didn't want it in muted Victorian looking colors, you know, that kind of thing. I wasn't going for the old, you know, look. I'm going for something that's festive. So what I did was I purchased myself a collage sheet that was already done in these pennant shapes. And if you do a search on Etsy, there is a lot of different ones, and that's etsy.com, ETSY.com. And I found this particular one from Pink Pearl Studio, and I'll put a link on the website so you can find hers. And there's just so many, so you could do it for any kind of occasion that came up. So I printed this on my regular inkjet printer. It's that easy. And what you want to do with the sticker one, you can feel how one side is like a fabric and the other side is a sticker and shinier. So you want to make sure that when you load it into your printer that you load it properly, so that when it pulls it up, it prints on the side that's the fabric. So you have to learn that for your printer. Everyone's different, okay? So here I have it already printed, and what I did was I cut it out, and I found it easier to cut, you know, each little individual piece out so it's not in the big chunk, you know, and set that aside and just cut each individual one out singly. It was a lot easier that way than trying to keep it all on the page. So I also found that it did cut better with my scissors that are made for fabric. So you want to get yourself a good pair of scissors when you're doing this. It just makes your life easier. So all you do is you cut these out and you kind of follow the lines. That's what you want to do, follow as close as you want. And you can do this with regular scissors. I did try to do it with a rotary cutter, and I found it was easier to do it with regular scissors, so I just continued doing it that way. And like I said, a better pair of scissors is always going to work better. And these scissors are junk, but you'll get the idea. So when I have these all done and cut out, you know, into the exact shape that I wanted, I then lined up my ribbon. So you want to figure out where you're going to be hanging it, because that's important. And you want to measure the place you're going to be hanging it at. And I'm hanging it on my fireplace, so what I did was I measured the entire length of the fireplace, and then I measured each one of these. Actually, you only have to measure one because they are supposed to be the same size if you cut it properly. You know, I mean, you're not going to have exact, you know, we're all going to cut a certain way, but you can get as close to exact as you can. So I measured the top here because I knew that was going to be the longest part, and then I figured out how many sheets, since there's 5 per sheet, that I would need, and how many I would need to print to be able to have it work out right. So it turned out I needed 3 sheets of this, but I really only needed 1 of these of the 3rd sheet. So I had all these extras, so that's good because I'm showing you today, and it worked out good for that. But, you know, you may have a little extra is what I'm saying, so try to go as exact as you can, but if you need 1 from the next sheet, you're going to just have to print it. You're not going to get around that. So let me get the ribbon, and I'm going to show you how to move on from here. So this is the ribbon I used for mine, and it's by Offrey. You can use any ribbon you want. It's totally up to you. I just had this one probably for the last 20 years sitting around. I figured, why not use it for this project? It's perfect. So once you measure out, you just want to cut it, and I'm just going to use a little piece here to show you guys, since I don't want to show you in the big scale. You'll see that when I flash that up at the end of the show. So anyways, what you need to do is figure out your length, like I said, how to do that. And once you find out the length you need, just cut it. So I just used the full length that I needed, which was over 60 inches, and cut that, and I worked with that. So you may want to do it that way as well. I thought it worked really well, and once I was done with the embellishing, I was ready to go. It was already set up. So you're going to need some scrap paper, or you're going to need some, it depends on where you're going to hang this. So since I was hanging it on my fireplace, I knew it wasn't going to be blowing around and nobody was going to see the back. So what I ended up doing is using just white paper on the back of mine, which you'll see, I'll show you when we're done. And, you know, that worked fine for mine. But if you're going to hang it somewhere where it's going to be blowing in the wind and people are going to be seeing the other side, white is kind of boring. So you could take some fabric or some decorative paper and use that. And you'll see what I'm talking about as we move on. So really all you need, you know, if it's not going to be seen, the other side, is some plain paper. And you can, I just have this one laying around to show you. It'll be easier to see with the design on it. And what you want to do, since this is sticky back, is you want to peel up that plastic backing and use your fingernail. You can bend it a little if you need to. Just try not to rip it, you know, and just to be able to peel this back. So I got the corner here. It's a little tricky, you know, I've got big hands. And what you want to do is just start peeling it off from the top. You don't want to peel it all the way off. You just want to peel it off a little so that you can stick it on to your ribbon. Okay, and I'm going to line it up with the top as best as I can and just pull it halfway. Okay, so the ribbon is now attached to the piece of printable fabric, and now I can pull it off the rest of the way, and it works best if you work on the end of the paper because you can line it up real easy, and just lay that right down on top of the rest of the sticky part. Okay, and then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to use your scissors to just cut off that excess. Make sure you don't cut your ribbon. You don't want that to happen. Or your pennant piece. And just cut that off. This way you're getting rid of the stickiness that's on the back, and like I said, if you're going to be putting it in a place where people will see the back, this is your point where you're going to put a decorative piece on the back. Okay, and if you're hanging it up on the fireplace, there really is no need to waste a decorative piece unless you want to. So now, this is completely ready to go. Okay, it's no longer sticky. It's got a decorative back. It's on the ribbon, and it's going to stay on the ribbon. So that's one good thing about it. It's really sticky, so once you have it on there, give it a little rub, and it'll stay on there. It's not going to come falling off easily. Okay, so at this point, you could, after you get all of your pieces together, you can then decorate it any way you want. You can add some chalk around the edge, some ink around the edge. You could add buttons. You could add glitter. Anything you want. Sky's the limit. And when you get all the way done, you're going to have something like this. And it folds up real easy. Okay, for storage, so that's great. You can pull it back out next year. And I'm going to decorate this all up and make it even more fun. So I'll show you that at the end of this video. And use your imagination. Go crazy with it. It's a really fun project, and as you saw, really easy to do. So come visit us at thingscrafty.com. Sign up for the newsletter, and sign up for the community. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks for watching.